Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores, or I go to estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist, and I'm always looking for things that I find interesting, or that I think you guys would find interesting, and I take them home, I try to find out as much as I can about them, and then I tell you guys about them. So, here's what I've got today. Hope you guys can see this very well. This is a ceramic vase. Don't roll. Yeah, it's a pot, vase, whatever you want to call it. This is art pottery again, local to Vancouver. I'll talk a little bit about it in a minute. It's quite nice. It's very heavy as well. I paid, I think, $9 for it, and to be honest, that's a little bit more than I like to pay for any kind of piece out of a thrift store, but this one was fine enough that I thought it was definitely going to be worth the money. It was just an incredibly well built, very nice piece. It's all been cleaned and everything. On the inside, it's obviously hand thrown, and it's got this amazing extra detail. And to be honest, I should probably confer with a friend of mine who knows a bit more about pottery, because I have no idea how they managed to do that. It's just such a wonderfully interesting, intricate design. It's incredibly beautiful. And I've just, for the sake of it, I've left these little feet on it. This would have been added by somebody at some point, and it's just to stop it from, you know, the base getting damaged or whatever. I see them every once in a while in thrift store pieces, and if they're nice, I don't take them off, because it's better than just having the raw bottom of the, you know, especially something that's made out of ceramic. It's better than, you know, taking off and then just letting that, you know, scratch your table or whatever. But anyway, let's measure it up. It is about 7.5 inches high, and I'm going to be eyeballing out the width. I'm not doing as well. It's about 4 inches wide. And you can see that it's got this amazing speckled glaze. Speckled glaze. What am I talking about? I've done the usual thing. I've run my hands, whatever, over. And don't bump the camera, Claire. I've run my hands across the top and just basically looking to see, does it have any chips or cracks? No, it's whole, it's perfect. And it's incredibly nice looking. No wear on it at all. I'm pretty sure someone just left it on a shelf for, you know, a few decades or something. It didn't even have any dust in it when I picked it up, so I thought that it was somebody took very good care of it. Now, the nice thing about this is that you see there's obviously nothing on the base. We do have the mark right there, and you can see it says Peter Price. Excellent. That means that we've got somebody you can actually reference. And the good news is that I have actually I've done some looking up, and Peter Price is a potter, or was a potter. It's unfortunate that I can't find a whole lot of more information about him anyway. He works, or has worked, on Salt Spring Island here in Vancouver. I've done a few videos about like pieces from Salt Spring Island. Salt Spring Island here is one of the islands. Is actually off the coast here. It's quite close to Vancouver, and it's really sizable. It's actually a smaller island that's right next to Vancouver Island, which is quite big. And Salt Spring Island is most well known for essentially having all of these art pottery studios. It's just famous for it. So a lot of the times when I see kind of art pottery showing up in thrift stores in Vancouver, a lot of the times it will be from a Salt Spring potter of some kind. Like the variety and kind of, you know, the kind of range of skill and everything like that you see is absolutely phenomenal. A lot of them will actually have Salt Spring Island actually stamped on the base, especially if someone is actually a member of the Salt Spring Potters Guild. I've seen that a few times as well. I don't always pick them up, mostly because I know it's kind of hard to identify the artists. Like, if the mark isn't clear, then all bets are off. I was lucky in this case that his chop mark is very, very clear, which is great for our purposes anyway. So, who do we know? What exactly do we know about Peter Price? And the sad thing is that there's almost nothing. All I've really been able to find out about him is that his studio's name, the name of his studio is Tree Line Pottery. The name of this particular pattern, it's quite well known. It's called the Birch pattern, and I think I might have closed the tab. So, Price Pottery. Yeah, there we go. So you can see that a lot of his work that actually shows up is just this exact design. in various styles. And there you go, there's the jar, there's our pottery. And some of them are very, very nice. That one is $50.33. Mid-century modern weed pot. I don't know what they're implying with that. I'm not going to kind of inquire too much further. No, thank you. Yeah, so I've seen a few of these just kind of popping up, and I've actually seen a fair number of listings, whatever, on places like Garage Sale and Craigslist, and this is used Victoria. Obviously, Victoria is the capital of Vancouver. It's on Vancouver Island. It's local. There's a lot of his stuff that kind of just pops up randomly around here. People have listed it on Craigslist, or at least they're aware that he's actually like a local potter who's very well known. And somehow I managed to pull myself a piece of it. Again, $9 in the thrift store. That's not bad. You know, I ended up picking it up initially because I saw the style of it and everything, and then I held it and I thought, this is definitely quality. This has been done by someone who knows what they're doing, and I really appreciate that. It is unfortunately quite heavy as well. This is not going to be fun to ship, I have to say. I would say that it's probably going to cost about $20 Canadian just to ship it anywhere in North America, which is a lot more than what I would normally like to charge. If I, like, normally if I put something up on eBay, I only want to charge $10 US for shipping, and that's not going to cover shipping for this, at least. It's just not. I love that. I wish it was dated. Unfortunately, it's not. Now, the one thing that I cannot establish is when this guy was actually working. I've seen a lot of like, there's a lot of stuff, like, his stuff is out there. It's definitely selling. It's, you know, there's even some entries on eBay for it, which is not usual for stuff in Vancouver. I'm going to put that over there so I don't knock it over. It's not usual for stuff in Salt Spring, like from a Salt Spring Island potter, unless they're incredibly well known, for them to actually show up on eBay. Or, you know, in a lot of different, like, basically outside of like Vancouver local stuff like Garage Sale or Craigslist. He definitely does, though, which is interesting. Now, the problem with this, right? This is not his actual site. His site was at some point treelinepottery.com. I cannot find any site for him right now. This is using basically the Wayback Machine, the archive.org Wayback Machine, which is just a way of looking at old websites that are no longer online. The archive.org, like the Internet Archive, is basically this massive kind of data storage project that does nothing but capture websites and store their code and as much of the content as they can as a historical record of the state of the internet. So it has here some captures for treelinepottery.com. It starts sometimes around 2007, and the last capture is a dead site around 2016. There is nothing else, and I cannot find really anything more about him. I don't know if he's actually still working. All I really know is that his name is definitely Peter Price. He was definitely working on Salt Spring Island in Treeline Pottery with his wife Dorothy. More than that, I can't even find any newspaper references. I just, you know, I've just completely struck out. This is all I really have. Yeah, it's a bit weird, I have to say. But that, having said that, what is this actually worth? Now, the good news is that we do have one recent sale. A Peter, come on, there we go. Peter Price Studio hand-thrown pottery birch tree bowl, 7 inches, and it was sold for $50, you know, $50 US. Not bad at all. And it's the birch pattern, very similar to this, and it looks quite nice. There is actually another one listed for sale. If I just switch off, yeah, take a look at that. Vintage Peter Price pottery, vase, birch trees from Salt Spring, BC, Canada. And that is selling for $26.99 plus a ridiculous amount of shipping. But yeah, that's the exact same one. Crazy. And there's the same chalk mark. So I don't know. I would say what's probably going to happen with this is that I'm going to put it up on Etsy. I think, like, art pottery, I think tends to sell better on Etsy than it does on eBay. Considering the weight of it, I'll probably have to list it for about $50 Canadian, and that'll be with free shipping. That means that, like, I will hopefully be able to cover the shipping and make a little money. Besides, I think it's definitely worth it. Like, the vase is, people are probably going to understand that the vase is quite heavy, but $30 is a very good price for this, I think. And so, and it seems to be about right for the market. Because again, unusual art pottery. you'd be surprised. Unusual art pottery actually does sell quite well. So there we go. I'm quite happy that I found this. I wish I could have found out more about the artist, but yeah, them's the breaks. It just, you know, sometimes just the stuff isn't there on Google and I've got no other way of finding out. So here we go. This is my small joyful thing for the day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.